Mtazamaji, nayo kampuni ya Infotrak inatoa matokeo ya utafiti wake kuhusu mwelekeo wa taifa na haswa mswada wa fedha wa mwaka 2024 mwaka 2025. Pia nao tuwasikilize wanachokizungumza.
The cost of living, like we had seen, it was attributed to the reason the country is headed in the wrong direction. It still pops up as the key issue of concern, the leading, that is, amongst Kenyans. This is one of the leading reason or one of the leading issue that they want to be addressed as a matter of urgency, followed by unemployment, 30%. In the previous slide, you saw unemployment was playing at 27% as one reason why the disgruntled Kenyans feel the country is not headed in the right direction. And infrastructure in general, 22%, but of course in specific roads. We had seen just recently there was a bit of destruction caused by the natural floods. But of course, there are so many roads even before floods that were so impassable. If you travel across the country, not all the roads are well maintained because of the different layers or different categories of institutions that have been, there are several roads have been classified, county roads, Kera roads, Kura roads, so a bit of overlapping mandates that has made it quite difficult to have our infrastructure with specific mention to roads to be a perfect one. But of course, there is the cost of doing business that has been mentioned by 19%, and it's a tie with healthcare services, access to that. By the time we're doing this poll, remember the doctors had called off their strike a month or so. But before then, when we released a poll before now, there was a lot of outcry amongst the people about access to healthcare services. So those are some of the reasons. But of course, the high ratings, there are regions that, like Nyanza, that comes out strongly, where people have identified high cost of living, Northeastern, Nairobi, Central. They have also scored highly in terms of they want these 3 or 4 issues addressed as a matter of priority. If you check just how this span, there are myriads of reasons, but of course we focused on the ones that were mentioned highly. And of course you can see, like I'd mentioned earlier, cost of living all the way to public participation, CDF and bursary allocation 4%. There's environmental conservation, empowerment of women and youth. These are reasons that are volunteered by the respondents. They volunteer these reasons because we ask an open-ended. So you can always, we ask you 3 main. So you tell us your 3 main. Your 3 main can be different from my 3 main. Then we bring them together and see which ones have the highest score. And if you check,
recording stopped.
If you check through the comparison between February and August and this year, this has really been almost the same. It has been so similar in terms of high cost of living, unemployment, infrastructure. Save for in August last year, where quality of education was ranked the 3rd. Agriculture, because we are an agricultural country. We depend on it for our consumption and also for export. It's also been a major key issue of concern. But of course, we know it has been riddled with some difficulties when it comes to fake fertilizers and the likes. So, of course, you'll get this spread across the regions, which issues, most of these issues cut across the region. So There's nothing that is so unique to a particular region. If you find, then it could be one or two. And of course, by gender, unemployment stood out. There's a difference between male of about 3%. That's within our margin of error, so we declare it insignificant. Same to applies to cost of living, though the male, I believe, naturally, because our households are dominated with the male figures as the head of their households. And of course, with you being the head of household, the expectation is that you need to provide for the family. So that's how they feel the pinch more than the women who may be doing the shopping after the monies are provided. I know that is debatable, but we went to finance bill, the last issue. So on finance bill, first of all, we asked about three questions around finance bill. One is awareness. Are even Kenyans aware? Second, if they are aware, should it pass? Will it have what impact will it have? Positive impact on the economy? We wanted to get their views. Then we looked at specific highlights on the finance bill that had, and of course through the media yourselves, you've really brought those specific issues as the ones that Kenyans, of course there are so many, but we only looked at the ones that you've been talking heavily about. So we wanted to find out those specific, example, the bread, the tax on bread. Do Kenyans support it? So you will see the result. So we start by awareness. Significant, slightly above, 54% are conversant, or they are aware that there exists a finance bill. You will recall, I think in Kenya, it's only this administration that has made this thing called finance bill be a bit known. Before now, it was so silent. Even as researchers, we were not focusing so much on it. We were so much aware of the budget reading. Everybody would talk about the budget reading. But the current regime made us aware that before that budget reading, there's the finance paper that has to be tabled because of the realization of the budget. So every single person now can make mention of an existence of a bill called finance bill. So 54% responded that they are aware, while 46%, quite a number, are not even aware. Awareness seems to be high in this region, central region, 62%. They claim they are aware of the finance bill. The least awareness is in northeastern. That is at 46%. I believe it could to do with education or just lack of involvement, but that region seems to be giving us always a different figure from the rest of the region. Then in terms of their perceived impact, remember we asked after, are you aware? The second thing, you've heard about this finance bill 2024. What impact will it have in the economy? 54% are still saying it will have, actually 77% say they will not have any impact at all. So we've seen that it has been really touted a lot, but I feel the impact in the